Hello everyone, it's me, Robert, also known as the 41835. Welcome to the review of Spotlight Shockwave. Fall of Cybertron Shockwave. Before we get into the review, I've just got a couple of things to say. Yes, I know I said I won't be doing any more videos, but here I am. I had a couple of minutes free today, so I thought I'd do this video for you. Next main video will probably be around February still. That's still the same. But, yeah, so this will probably be the last video for quite a while, and I do apologise for that, but as I said, real life work is coming up. So, Shockwave as a character, because today I'm going to focus on his Fall of Cybertron appearance, nothing to do with G1, because hopefully one day I'll get a Generation 1 toy. It would be really good if I did. But yes, Fall of Cybertron Shockwave. So in the game, Shockwave is a scientist on Cybertron, working for the Decepticons. He is the inventor of the space bridge technology, but also the Insecticons, which he uses to capture Grimlock and his crew, who are known as the Lightning Strike Coalition at this point, before they become Dinobots. His space bridge takes him to numerous worlds in which he scans indigenous life forms and then imprints these scans of dinosaurs, such as on Earth and on other planets, to create the Dinobots once he's captured the Lightning Strike team. However, they break out and proceed to get revenge on Shockwave. I'm not going to spoil the end of the game for you in case you haven't seen it or played it, but basically in the final mission you play as Grimlock and you confront Shockwave, and that's all I'm saying. So yeah, the main other reason for the space bridge is that to collect Energon, because Cybertron is running out of Energon and they need to find new planets, which is where you get the Autobots leaving Cybertron looking for Energon, as well as Decepticons, which is also at the end of the game, but I won't go into too much detail of that. He also appears in Transformers Prime Rage of the Dinobots, which is a comic series which only came out a couple of weeks ago. I think the second issue is now out, which is a sequel to the Fall of Cybertron game and tells you what happened to the Dinobots and Shockwave after the events in Fall of Cybertron, which is cool. I haven't read them yet. I hopefully will. We may review them on the podcast, on Iaconic Reviews. I don't know about that. If we have any free time, we've got a lot of things coming up in the podcast at the moment. We've got several big months of reviewing to do. Then we've got also plans for later on in the year, but we'll get to that when it comes to it. Let's just say everything's a bit busy at this time of year, so I doubt we're going to have time to try and squeeze that in, but if we do, then we do. So, onto the toy itself. Now then, onto the toy itself. Now before I begin this review today, I have to make a sort of point about the latest discussion in the Transformers community that's going on, based on the, how do I say this, the basically desizing and deplasticizing of Transformers. Basically, Transformers are getting smaller and the plastic is getting thinner, which the Transformers community is divided about. I had my opinions when it came out. However, overall now, I basically believe that yes, it's getting smaller, but we can't do anything about it. Basically, we have to put up with it for now. We have to accept the fact that it's getting smaller and just stop moaning about it, to be honest, because even though the figures are smaller, they are still very good quality in some cases. Point being, this figure. But I do understand Ray's point, which he made in a video quite recently, that we can't just sit back and go, okay then, and we'll accept it and be brainwashed into thinking that that's how it's going to be. We have to still think that, yes, one day it will change, but not anytime soon. But it will change. We can't be complacent with the fact that the plastic is getting smaller and smaller. We have to think, right, it's getting smaller, but hopefully in the future, once economic things start getting better, then it'll change. So, sorry for that. It's a bit of a rant, I know. Onto the box first. Here's the box. As you can see, nice picture of Shockwave on the front. Shockwave's robot mode, alt mode. On the back you have Shockwave in his alt mode and some writing. It's okay box, not really my favourite box, but they're nice because they hint back to the old days of Generation 1. So, onto the toy itself. Now here is Shockwave in his Cybertronian jet mode, and if you've played the game, you will know that this is one of the playable flyers in multiplayer, which is really nice because in Transformers Fall of Cybertron multiplayer, I almost play this every round, with the exception of some other characters. But it is very nice. The paint scheme is this Shockwave purple, as well as silver highlights on the wings, and where the gun is, as well as black jets on the back, like so. And also the light purple for the gun and also the chest, which this lighting is, there we are, which you can see, it is slightly translucent, so that's pretty nice, overall, it's good. I mean, some people have been complaining about it because it doesn't remind them of anything. I understand their points, exactly. But then again, it is Cybertronian, it's from the game, so they can't argue that it's not just completely made up. And it works. I believe it really does. Now, there is a third mode to this, which I'll show you. Basically, flip out the engines from the back, flip them out, and let's see if I can remember how to do this. Basically, unpeg them from the back, unpeg that slightly, twist them around like so they're facing, flip them back in, which then allows you to sort of flip them down, and there I suppose you have a handle and you can sort of use it as a gun, like so. You can hold it as a Shockwave gun, which again reminisces the first toy, the Generation 1 toy, which his alt mode, as you know, was a gun, and it's a very nice touch. I don't know if Hasbro put it in there just to give the fans a little nod, but if they did, very good on them. If not, then it's still a nice feature. So, onto the transformation. The transformation for this toy it's fairly simple, yet it's innovative, and it's a nice transformation. So, if you hear rustling of paper, I do apologise. That's just me looking at the instructions, because I have only transformed this once or twice, so my transformation skills aren't that good on it, but I'm sure you'll forgive me if I go wrong. So first of all, flip down the side bits, like so. Flip them up, and you see a peg there, just clip them into the peg. So, clip them in, like so. Come round to the other side, do the same. Flip them out, put them in, clip them in. I don't know if you're going to see that. Clip them in, so they're clipped in, like so. Come to the back and just pretend that these are background to what they originally look like, before I mess them up by using the third fan mode. And I do apologise about the lighting here, it is pretty bad, I can tell, but I don't know why that's doing that. That's better, slightly. So, come to here, make sure these are still joined, flip them like so, flip this around like so, then come to the top, unpeg these, which will become his legs, unpeg them like so, take out the gun, that will become his gun. So you have a sort of split jet mode, like so. You can see that it's basically going to start forming his legs soon. Flip out the little toes on the sphere, flip out the little toes like so, so the toes are flipped. Then, like that, flip around the wings so they're facing backwards, like so. So you had them like this, you got to flip them round so they're like this now. they're like this. You then come to the arms, split them from the top here, split them, so like so. It's better to stand him up at this point because you can. So as you can see, we're sort of forming a robot mode, like so. Come round, flip these down, flip this over, and when you do this, Automorph will flip out his head. There we are. Come back, flip these up, twist them around like so, and then fold the arms down again, same as this top one. Flip it down and flip the arms down like so. So you sort of have half looking like Shockwave now. You then have to fold the arms around like so, flip out the little hands, because as you can see, if the lighting will work, flip out his little hands, so he has hands now, and then basically twist them around like so. So again, same as the first, flip out his hands from this side, so it's like that. As you can see, you flip them out, so they're like this. You then come round, spin it round, and like so. And there you have Shockwave in his robot mode. And so here he is in his robot mode. And what a very nice robot mode. Not only do we have the purples running throughout, like in his vehicle mode, but we also have black for his hands, the translucent lightish purple for his chest, and also we have the Decepticon symbol there. It's a very nice toy. It brings in elements of Generation 1, but also elements of more movie-verse toys and Fall of Cybertron. First of all, the head sculpt. As you can see, the head sculpt is amazing. It looks exactly like Shockwave. It is probably one of the best Shockwave heads we've ever got, not including Generation 1 toy, obviously. It's really nice, and the detail on it, not only do you have the head, but you have all these wires in black, which I should be able to show, around the base of the head. It is very, very nice. We also have the wings at the back, which give a new aesthetic to Shockwave, which we've never seen before. Again, paint detail carries on throughout the feet. Now, as you can see, there is one problem with this robot mode, and his legs are very thin. The plastic on this is very, very thin. However, it doesn't feel cheap, which is good. They've managed to cut down on the plastic, but at the same time still keep the figure's quality levels high, which is amazing. If you can do that, you're brilliant. It's really good. Articulation. Now, his articulation is okay. There is a few problems with it. Start off with the head. The head does not have any articulation. It can bob up and down, but that's only due to transformation. Apart from that, it can't do anything else, which doesn't bother me too much. It's just it would have been nice if we had some extra articulation, and I've just been proved wrong. No, he does have articulation. I do apologise for that. Wow, that's the first time apparently I've found out this figure has an articulated head, which is brilliant. Okay, I love this figure 10 times more now. His arms are articulated. Here at his shoulders, they have a 360 degrees. They can move out that far and move in like that. His elbows can move 360 degrees around, up and down, and his hands can move in and out like so, but that's only, once again, due to transformation. His chest does not have any waist movement, unfortunately. That would have been nice to see, but the other articulation makes up for it in this toy. His legs can go forward and back, but also out, so they're on a ball joint here. They can also bend at the knee considerably, like so. And he does have toe articulation, but again, that's only due to transformation. So you can get him in quite a few good poses. Like so. He also does come with his gun, which, if you know Transformers Fall of Cybertron, this gun is used in Fall of Cybertron. I believe it is known as a Energon collector. Basically, it drains energy out of your opponents in multiplayer and leaves them pretty much on low health, so you can attack them and kill them. It's a very good weapon, and they have made it really nice. It does look exactly... It's similar to Shockwave's gun in Generation 1, however it still retains Fall of Cybertron features, and again it can be plugged into the hand, like so, and it can also be plugged into the back of the figure, like so, as storage. There is another way in which you can convert the hand so that it has a gun arm, however I prefer to either use him holding it or have him in the back like so. So, overall this figure is a nice addition to your collection. I would say if you're a fan of Shockwave, get him. If you're a fan of Fall of Cybertron or the Wolf of Cybertron games, get him. If you're a fan of just a decent toy, because at the moment all we have is Transformers Prime toys and not much else really. So I would suggest pick him up if you can find him. He is quite rare. I had to search far and wide to find mine, and I'm sure I can tell you a story or two about him. But I would absolutely recommend get him in. So, until next time, I hope you've enjoyed this review. I've been your host, the Fallen 835, also known as Robert, and have a nice day.